What's up, everybody? Welcome to Funnel University. Today, are you guys excited? Hustle mode's officially on, and we're going to be talking about a really cool funnel that some of you guys probably saw but didn't know the strategy behind the strategy, because I showed it to you, and then if you read the Expert Secrets book, you learned about it, but you might not have connected the two and saw how they work together. So, first off, if you've read the Expert Secrets book, you're amazing. If you haven't yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, so go get it, go read it. But in here we talk about a concept called the perfect webinar. I talk about how the perfect webinar is amazing. We go slide by slide by slide by slide, and we actually do the whole perfect webinar. But then, in the back, there's a couple cool things here that you may or may not have remembered if you didn't finish the book. So this isn't one of those books you should read part of it, like the whole thing. I keep dropping bombs even in the back. So after secret 17, then we go to secret number 18, not that one. All right, secret number 19, perfect webinar hack. Okay, we talk about doing the perfect webinar through Facebook Live, which is pretty cool, right? So we talked about how I did it, made a crap ton. Kaylin and Brandon have done it. They've made insane amounts. I'm not allowed to disclose their income, unfortunately, but it's amazing. Just saying, it's amazing. But then, check this out. Secret 20, I'm like, wait a minute. You can also use a perfect webinar script in your emails. Okay, origin story, new opportunity, internal, external, the stack. So you can use it in your emails. Wait, but what's secret number 20? What? You can do Epiphany product launch funnels. What? So there it is right here. Okay, so the same script you learn in this book doesn't just work for webinars. It also works for teleseminars. It works for stage presentation. It works for email sequences. It works for product launches. It works for pretty much anything if you want to sell and make money. So you may not have known, but I actually used this in the Expert Secrets book launch. And so I want to show you guys behind the scenes how it all worked. Okay, you guys want to see it? Because it's kind of cool. All right, so what happened is you bought the book, and right here I was like, before you get started, I want you to watch this video. There's a really cool video. It was an hour and 10 minutes long from our Funnel Hacking Live event. But if you scroll down, then it was like, step 1, access what you just bought, and then step number 2, register right here to go into this cool class. So I'm going to show you how 93 other entrepreneurs who are just like you each created their own 7-figure funnel in the past 12 months, and how you're literally just one funnel away from your own 7-figure story. Okay, so people talk about funnel stacking. We talk about funnel stacking. I wrote a book called Funnel Stacking. People always ask me, Russell, when should I stack my next funnel on? The answer is when they're most excited, which is right after they've given you money. So you just gave me money, you just got the book, you just watched this hour-long presentation, you're fired up, you're like seeing the vision of reality and how your life's gonna be changed. You love Russell, I'm giving you so much value, moving up the value ladder. And then I'm like, hey, if you guys want to come to this live event, come register right here. So you register right here for this, and then boom, it takes you into the product launch funnel. So if you see it right here, so I'm putting this on the actual thank you page of my offer. So right there, they come here and then they're opting in, and then this is basically the way a traditional product launch works. Is each day there's video number 1, video 2, video 3, and then video 4 where you open the cart and you sell them something. So that's how a traditional product launch works. But what am I actually plugging into these spots? What I'm plugging in is the perfect webinar. Okay, so if you come right here now, video number 1 happens to be also my origin story. Okay, if you've gone through the book, you talk about the very first intro of the webinar. I'm doing my origin story, trying my first shot at pushing down the big domino. So this video is that. Now I literally just took this from my actual webinar. Okay, instead of pushing all these people through webinar funnel, I wanted to extend this process, do it through a launch sequence, as you'll see here. But I'm just taking the opening section of the webinar, which for me, this is I think about 30 minutes long, the video. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see it or not. I can see here on YouTube.
My name is Russell Brunson.
Yeah, so it's a 30-minute long intro of me telling the first part of my webinar. So they watch that, and then after they watch it, it's like, hey, for more, go to video number 2. Now, some people aren't going to watch all these videos in sequential order. So what happens is as soon as they opt in right here, then they start getting email sequences. Guess what the email sequences may happen to kind of look similar to? Secret 20. No, wait. If I can find it. There it is, Secret 20, yeah. So they opt in, they also get, because email number 1 talks about the origin story, then pushes them to go watch the video on the origin story. Email number 2 talks about new opportunity, then pushes them to the video to watch about new opportunity. You guys picking up what I'm laying down? Video 3 goes here, email 4 goes here, and email 5 goes here. So there's 2 layerings of the perfect webinar. One happening through email, one happening through pages, right? So they register, they get the first email, they get the first video pushing them here that tells the opportunity. Then they go click on video number 2, or they click on the link in the email, then they go to number 2, which now, this is secret number 1 from my presentation. Secret number 1, I go through and I teach that whole concept for my webinar, same thing, I teach secret number 1, then at the end of it, they can either go to the next video, or they can wait for the email to come, they click on that, and they go to secret number 2, which is now the second video in the launch sequence. They watch the video, then go through to secret number 3, and then the last one here is the offer, which is the stack and the closes and things like that. So if you notice, it's my webinar, but it's broken up over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Video number 1 teaches the origin, secret 1, secret 2, secret 3, stack and close. So the same concept of selling works in this format just like it does through Perfect Webinar as well. And so kind of some structuring on the pages is basically, it's very simple. The headline for the entire webinar, the video of me teaching the origin story, then video 2, and then down here is like grayed out the videos that are coming in. We also use deadline funnels in here. It doesn't show up on this page right now, but these pages expired. Do you remember exactly when it was? Was it 72, 40? I can't remember.
It's a short amount of time.
Yeah, yep. After they have a chance to watch it. So then it goes next page here, same thing. So they can see now, like, here's the next videos coming up. So they've watched this one they're watching right now. And then these ones are still grayed out. You come over here, same thing, the next one's grayed out as you go all the way through the whole thing. So that's kind of how it works. So if you study product launches in the past from Jeff Walker or any of the other people teaching product launches, they talk about these, Jeff Walker calls it a sideways sales letter, where it's basically taking your long form sales letter and you're breaking it up and you're putting it in here. It's kind of like a sideways webinar now. I'm taking my webinar and same things, and I'm just tipping it over and we're putting it in kind of like that. In fact, I like that so much, the sideways webinar. I'm actually going to take this right here. And Jeff Walker, I'm going to kind of rip you off because you're amazing and you're my buddy, so I hope that's all right. We're going to call this the Sideways Webinar. Sideways Webinar. I think it's a better title than what we had initially.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So this is the Sideways Webinar launch funnel. All right, so that's kind of it. So I'm going to kind of step back here now and walk you guys through all the pages from a sketched out standpoint. But it's something on, again, if you notice, as soon as my first thing sold, then I'm introducing them to the next funnel immediately. You don't have to wait a week or a month or 6 months or whatever. It's like, if they're excited, like, buyers in heat continue to buy, right? People will continue to buy from you until one of two things happen. Number one is you offend them, or number two, you stop selling them stuff. And so for you, it's like, don't offend them, number one, which the way you offend them is by just pitching them hard. That's what's cool about this process is they watch a training video here, they're watching training video, training video, training video, training video, and then here's where I sell them. Like, I've provided insane amounts of value every single step along the way. So by the time I do ask for an offer, they're like, oh yeah, Russell's amazing. He's giving me 6 hours of videos, training. Now he's asking me for money. Like, yeah, this is awesome. Okay, so that's kind of a big thing. All right, so first thing is you start back here with, so we'll kind of sketch this out. This is like the thank you page. Thank you page for your offer. Again, you could use this just as a front end funnel as well, but for this we're talking about as a thank you page. So then right down here it says, step number 1, get your product that you purchase, and then step 2 is register for this thing. Okay, they register, then pushes them now into the product launch sequence. I'm gonna do it kind of like this. So we've got video 1, video 2. So you got origin, secret 1, secret 2, secret 3, and then the stack and the close. So I'll put right here, we've got origin, secret number 1, number 2, secret number 3, and then stack and close.
I remember this is over a week too.
Yes, it's happening over over 7 day period. Yeah, exactly. So you got the video here, and then you've got the little videos here to show you where you are in the process. Sorry, launch funnels take longer to sketch out because there's so many cool little things in it. You guys get the gist. The button here, button here, button here, and then we got the stack and the close. So stack, 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 and then here's where they give you actual money. So that's kind of the sequence. And then at the same time that this process is happening, again, they've opted into the email here. So then they're getting emails here that relate to the origin story. They get an email here that relates to secret 1, email here, email here, email here. But that is basically the Sideways Webinar launch, as we now call it officially as of right now. So that is how this funnel works. Again, if you have a webinar right now, might as well take it, chop it up, flip it on its side, and do a product launch style like this. A lot of times, people buy through different ways. There's some people who will never in a million years get on a webinar because they don't want to register and then show up. They'll register, they won't ever show up. There's a lot of different things. So I like cycling through the different ways that we're presenting somebody. People buy through different modalities. Some people like to read, some people like to listen, some people like to watch, some people like to be talked to. Some of those different ways. And so this is just like a new modality. So someone you may use this even like someone watches your webinar and they don't buy when the cart closes. Then after cart closes, all non-buyers or people that didn't register or didn't show up to the webinar, you can say, hey, there's a really cool, you missed the webinar, but there's a really cool training series. Go opt in here to go watch video number 1. They come here, boom, and then video number 1. Now they're getting that over the next week. So he's just giving you different ways, different angles to approach somebody, to connect with them, and get them to consume your content so they can eventually come and see your offer, so you can change their life, and that's kind of the game plan. So that's kind of how this funnel works. Again, we're gonna call it Sideways Webinar Launch Funnel. It's awesome because it's got 2 parallels. It's got the page funnels, it's got the email funnels, all following the same scripts you find here inside the Expert Secrets book. If you haven't read it yet, get it. It's free. Just go to expertsecrets.com. And the cool thing is after you buy it, you can go through this process and actually see it all in action. So that's it. I don't have the exact numbers, but during the book launch, I would say conservatively this added anywhere from an extra $500 to $1 million in sales. I should probably find out the exact number. But just by having this cool value-add thing on the back end of our funnel,
Probably,
which
yeah.
brought people and sending them up. It's all funnel stacking. Like offer number 1 in the value ladder, and we stack them to offer number 2, and it keeps moving up from there. So that, you guys, is the Sideways Webinar Launch. I hope you guys love it. I hope you use it. Again, log in the Funnel You members area. You can get the share funnel for this, so you can just plug in your stuff and have some fun with it. So thanks so much, you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.